Previously on Third and Roll.
And it is 21-8.
Time out, ref! I called time out!
There's 21-8 here in Hamilton.
I am livid!
Dave, what was happening in the second half?
Well, I can't really say. I have on some authority. This might be apocryphal, but I do believe my coach was gambling on the spread.
Seemed that the Rough Riders may have remembered how to play football.
You lose! Good day, sir!
It is an age of Canadian football domination. In the West, the Edmonton Eskimos are a dynasty without equal. Behind the quarterback tandem of Tom Wilkinson and Warren Moon, the Eskimos won 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships between 1978 and 1982. In the East, 4 teams battle it out through a 6-game season to see who will meet Edmonton in the championship game. The Toronto Argonauts have not hoisted a Grey Cup since 1952. Will this be their year? Let's find out. This is Third and Roll. Welcome to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast. This is the podcast where we play the 1985 board game Canadian Armchair Football and roleplay a broadcast of a Toronto Argonauts game. My name is Spencer. This is my brother Alex.
Hello.
Today is the final game of the 1980 regular season. The Argos are at home against the first place Hamilton Tiger Cats. I will be calling the plays and rolling the dice for Toronto, and Alex will be doing the same for Hamilton. For now, let's take you into the studio for the pregame show with Ron BOO-TMEN and Brett Brannigan. Ron, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ron BOO-TMEN. Welcome to the Canadian Armchair Football Podcast. On this Halloween day, as the leaves are falling, the cold is coming in, and the football campaign season is heating up. From the green carpet floors of the House of Commons to the green carpet rectangle of the football field, we are ready to conduct the nation's business in the most important way. And so now, to tell us what we should be angry about today, I send it over to our resident of rage, Mr. Brett Brannigan.
Ron! I have something very surprising to say to you today. I am actually not angry. I am scared and I am sad. I am worried that we are witnessing in real time the collapse of this Toronto Argonauts season. What had started with so much hope with new head coach Willie Wood has fallen apart these past 2 games as the Argos are in the midst of a 2-game losing streak. From once in first place and gonna go a bye right to the Eastern Division Final, now they're in a battle to the death to have even a home playoff game whatsoever. This is absolutely outrageous. I am saddened, I am scared, and it's not because of the ghosts and ghoulies out there. I am scared of what is going to happen to Willie Wood and this franchise if they cannot turn things around today and close it out with a win. If the Argos win today, they can still claim first place. If they lose, they could fall all the way down to 3rd place. So I'm scared, but I gotta go with the Argos. I'm picking them to win, and let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's turn the season around right now.
Well, thank you, Brett, for a new shade of emotion from our resident Mr. Brett Brannigan. And now, to the field, where the ghosts and goblins are assembling to play a spooky game of football. And we have our Count and Dr. Doom of correspondentry, Edward Welch and Norman Knuckleberger.
Wow, well, thank you so much for that, Ron. I suppose I am the Count in that situation, and Norman, I always pictured you as more of a Cookie Monster type. How do you think about that?
Dr. Cookie, I can work with that.
All right, glad to hear it. So here we are, Friday Night Football, October 31st, 1980. As Brett mentioned in the pregame show, the Argos are fighting for first place in the East. Let's take you now onto the field where we have Rufus Crawford from the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Ron Southwick from the Toronto Argos, who are walking out to do the pre-game roll to see who will receive the ball. Now, I do want to point out from our interview with Todd in a previous week, we do know that there is a long-standing beef between these two, where, if I recall correctly, I believe Rufus Crawford, some kind of car incident.
And Rufus, that son of a bitch, cut me off in his brown Camaro.
And Ron has never been able to let it go, and you can just see it. He is seething there under his helmet.
Always remember the sight of that Camaro. And he was just laughing at me. You don't do that in Winnipeg. You don't do that.
But let's go. Let's see if we can beat him on the field the good old-fashioned way with a good roll. So Ron Southwick has rolled a 4, but he has been bested once again by Rufus Crawford, who has rolled a 6. So it is to Hamilton to decide, will they receive or kick?
Yes, Hamilton is feeling hungry. They are hungry to eat some Argos. They want to receive the ball and get going. So that's how we play the game. Hamilton won the dice roll. So that's football, ladies and gentlemen. We're good to go.
This is Chad Owens, the Flying Hawaiian and former receiver for the Toronto Argonauts. You're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
Before we continue, Edward, I just can't let this continue without harping once again on what happened last game. I mean, that was an absolute collapse. I don't know if I've ever seen such a dramatic collapse of a team that was so far ahead in the first half that we thought they would just try an onside kick just for fun, just to let the kicker kick for the cycle. Let's do an onside kick. And in the second half, they went from bad to total destruction. So you can see there's a look of grim resolution on the faces of the Argos today. They have to do it today for even their own pride.
The Argos are looking to put that game behind them. Yes, Norman, as you mentioned, the Argos only scored 2 points in the entire second half of that game, so we have now
Zenon and Rishishin
on for the kickoff, and that is a 50-yard kick. So Zenon kicking off from his 45-yard line. That brings the ball down to the Hamilton 10-yard line. And from there, we have David Shaw, and David Shaw brings the ball up the middle, and he gets 25 yards. So he's going to be first and 10 from the 35-yard line. Okay, so we have Dave Marler, who unfortunately is not mic'd up in this game, handing the ball off to Rufus Crawford. That is a mouthful, folks. And Rufus picks up 1 yard. 1 yard. We've got Bruce Clark in there to stop him. They're going with the hurry up. And Rufus Crawford gets pushed back even further. He loses 5 yards. The ball is out. And Marler is able to recover the ball. So, goodness.
Oh, that was a close one.
That pushes them right back. That's going to be a 3rd and 14 from the 31-yard line.
Well, they were hungry to get something started here by taking the ball first, but all they're getting out of it is a kick bye-bye.
Bye-bye indeed. We've got Bernie Ruoff coming onto the field, and that is a 45-yard punt from his own 31-yard line, and that will bring the ball down to the line judge.
Working.
34-yard line.
Preston Young gets very little on that return. That was a pickup of 2 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Toronto from their own 36-yard line. What-ho there, listener. Edward Welch here. Welcome back to my parlor. Please take a seat. The year was 1946. The jubilation that I felt at the end of World War II morphed into a sad reality, where at the age of 13, I was sent away from home, sent off to Eton College in Berkshire. Founded in 1440 by King Edward VI, Eton had become a bastion of prestige and decadence. Leaving the rationing that we were experiencing at home to go into these hollow grounds, I felt a deep sadness come wash over me. Worst of all, I left behind all the friends that I'd made at the Ashford Church of England primary school. And when I showed up there, they handed me one of these Eton blue shirts. Now, I was so naive that I wore it with pride back then, not knowing about the superior color combination of the Oxford and Cambridge blues done by our Toronto Argonauts. I had learned much at the Ashford Church of England primary school. I had become a bit of a big fish in a small pond, being the premier stick boy on the girls' field hockey team, being the voice of the school on the morning announcements. But when I showed up at Eton, I knew that I was going to be a small fish in a big pond, and I was going to have to work hard if I was going to make anything of my time at Eton.
First down, Toronto.
So we've got Jackson coming out onto the field. Jackson going to Metcalf. It's an off-right tackle. And Metcalf gets stuffed for no gain. Wow, the defenses are really showing their muscle here to start off the first quarter. All right, so with 12 minutes to go in the first quarter, it is
Second down.
Toronto, 2nd and 10. We have Jackson handing the ball off again to Metcalf. Metcalf is going for a pitch out. And Metcalf picks up 10. So that's going to be a first down, Toronto. That is the first down of the game.
Bam! That's what I'm talking about.
Jackson trying to keep the momentum going, handing it right back to Metcalf. It's a run over center. And Metcalf picks up 2. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 now for the Argos, who are at their own 47-yard line. So 2nd and 7. Apologies, 2nd and 8. Jackson going for a screen pass. That ball is complete to Metcalf. Metcalf has picked up 5. He needs an additional 3 in order to get the first down. And he does not. Metcalf there. He got close, but not close enough. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Argos. So at their own the 52-yard line there, the Argos need 2 yards to go, and the offense is staying out on the field.
What do you think you're doing?
They are going to hand the ball right back to Metcalf for an off left tackle. It's a 3rd down gamble here from the Argos. And it pays off. They pick up 8 yards there on the play, so it's first down Toronto, and the Argos are on to the Hamilton side of the field. Jackson handing the ball back off to Metcalf. Once again, this is a reverse now. And Metcalf gets pushed back for a loss of 2. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now. Jackson going for a short pass now. And they pick up 6. It's a dump off to Metcalf for 6 yards. They need 6 more in order to collect the first down. And they only get 5. So that is going to bring up the 3rd down on this drive so far. Now, Norman, if a team went for it on 3rd and 2 on their own side of the field, on the same drive, if there's a 3rd and 1 on the opponent's side of the field, you think they got to be going for it, right?
Gamble once, gamble twice, keep it going.
Well, that is certainly Willie Wood's mentality. He is keeping the offense out onto the field.
It's showtime.
It is going to be an off-right tackle to Metcalf. They need 1 yard. And they pick it up. They pick up 5 yards on the play. So that's going to bring up a first... Oh, wait a minute.
There's a flag on the play.
There is some laundry out here on the field. Let's go down to the referee. The referees are conferring. I see some fingers being pointed to both sides.
Big moment here, the first call of the game, really setting the tone here.
The flag on the play. The ruling on the field is illegal interference on the defense. That is a 15-yard penalty. The ball will be advanced 15 yards, and it'll be first down Toronto.
Wow, the crowd that had been silenced by that third down conversion now is just really, you can just feel the anger here. There's really like a visceral booing going on.
Norman, I think that booing is actually coming from the Hamilton sidelines, and I believe the Toronto fans here are elated. They are happy to be here, and they are happy to see their hometown team get a little bit of assistance here from the referees. But you make a very good point. The Hamilton team is a very, very loud one.
Wow, that's quite a mix-up there. I mean, they weren't saying boo, they were saying like BOO-TMEN. BOO-TMEN. That's what they were saying. Now I get it.
I was saying boo-earns. All right, the Argos, they have the ball now. They are down to the Hamilton
36-yard line.
They are down at the 36-yard line of Hamilton. Jackson, they've had some good luck with this so far. They're going to keep running to these tackles. It's going to be an off right tackle now to Metcalf. And Metcalf picks up 6. So good first down production here from the Argos. That will bring up
second down.
The crowd is loving it. There is no BOO-TMEN this time. This is just straight up cheering. They love what's going on here.
So with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, it is 2nd and 4 now for the Argos deep in Hamilton territory. Jackson is he's going for an off left tackle now. And Metcalf picks up 2. So that was going to bring it down to the 29-yard line of Hamilton. 3rd and 2 for the Argos.
Well, they just keep finding themselves in these third and short situations, these juicy decision situations.
Willie Wood is being very aggressive today, almost as though he is playing or coaching for his job here. He is going right back to Metcalf. Jackson hands it off to Metcalf. It's a run over center. They need 2. And Metcalf gets pushed back. It's a loss of 2 on the play. That is a turnover on downs for the Argos. Hamilton will take over at their own 30-yard line.
Can you just feel those second thoughts just washing in? And now immediately it's completely obvious that the correct call would have been to kick a field goal. Looks like Willie Wood just wants to hide in a hole right now, but no, he's still got the fight in him, and it looks like part of him wants to hide, but now he just has to he's got to keep the defensive ship holding until he gets another chance to move it down.
That's right. We have to keep that good ship Argo heading in the right direction. Will this turn out to be a game of field position? We will find out.
Greetings from the desk of Dr. Footius Balloonicus. The game of medieval football at times occasioned acts of such violence that no one less than the Pope himself could absolve them. As recorded in a 1321 dispensation from Pope John the 22nd to a William de Spalding of Sholdham Parish, County Norfolk. To William de Spalding, Canon of Skoldham, of the Order of Sempringham. During the game at ball, as he kicked the ball, a lay friend of his, also called William, ran against him and wounded himself on a sheathed knife carried by the canon, so severely that he died within 6 days. Dispensation is granted, as no blame is attached to William de Spalding, who, feeling deeply the death of his friend, and fearing what might be said by his enemies, has applied to the Pope.
First down, Hamilton.
We have Marler back onto the field. Marler going for a draw play, handing it off to Crawford. And Crawford picks up 4. So that's going to be 2nd and 6 now for the Tiger Cats. Marler is going for a pass. He's looking to connect with Clarkson over the middle, and that ball is incomplete. Incomplete, so that is going to bring up third down for Hamilton. Hamilton wasting no time making the decision.
Barney is
on for the punt. Looks as though that one came off the side of the foot. It is going 35 yards down the field. It looks like it's heading out of bounds. Preston Young jumps up and snags it. Is going to advance it up the field. And Metcalf picks up 5. But wait a minute.
There's a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play there. Let's go back down to the officials.
Oh yeah, here we go.
The ruling on the field is an illegal block on the play on the return team, blocking from the rear. That's a 15-yard penalty. It will be first down Toronto, but the ball will be pushed back 15 yards.
Another reminder that football is all about going in the right direction. I mean, there's even a penalty to tell you, hey, you're not allowed to push that way. You got to push the other way.
You simply can't do that, folks. If you're attempting to block, you got to block either from the front or from the side. You cannot do it from behind. Player safety.
This is Jamal Campbell, number 67, offensive tackle from the Toronto Argonauts. You're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
All right, folks. So, not much time left here in the first quarter. Only 3 minutes to go. No score so far. Jackson is going to dump it off. It's a screen pass. That ball is complete to Metcalf, who picks up 4 through the air and picks up an additional 3 on the ground. So that is a 7-yard pickup on the play. That's going to bring up second and third down. Jackson, shocker here, he is handing the ball off to Metcalf. Is an off-right tackle. And Metcalf picks up 6. So Metcalf bursts through the defensive line there. He snuck past defensive tackle Greg Dubinitz, and he was tackled there by Ben Zambiasi. With that, it's going to be
first down, Toronto.
With not much time remaining in the first quarter, the Argos are at their own 44-yard line. Jackson is going to go for a short pass now, and that ball is incomplete.
Oh, Butterfingers.
It's going to bring up a rare second and long here for the Argos. Jackson keeping the ball in his hands. He's going for a pass from option now. And that ball is also incomplete. Goodness. So this is going to be a 3 and out for the Argos. Willie Wood, he's aggressive, but he's not that aggressive. He's not going to go for it. We're third and long on his own side of the field.
As sad as punting is, and it's always a play that you conduct with a tear slowly falling down one cheek, there's times like this when, hey, you say, okay, I get it. It's nice to just move the ball out of my way. Just get further away from me.
There we go. So we have
Zenon Andrisheshin
on for the punt. And Zenon has kicked a 40-yard punt. That ball looks as though it's heading out of bounds, but it has been picked up by Hamilton. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are receiving it at their own 31-yard line. And the ball is out. He fumbled the kick. He fumbled the punt return. The ball is out, and the Argos are going to be taken over at the Hamilton 31-yard line.
Now, there's one of my favorite plays when you can really turn the punt into an offensive play. You kick the ball forward, bounce it off the other team, and then catch it. That is how you punt.
And so that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. We will be right back after this.
You're listening to Third and Roll. Can I say the same thing but in Tamil? நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது Third and Roll.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Norman, what do you say we take a look inside the old Third and Roll mailbag?
Let's do it.
Any letters to post?
Letters? What letters? A message was dispatched.
We'll start with your correspondence.
I know all about the letters.
Read your letters.
My letters! Give me that! Oh, he wrote letters. Any fool can write letters.
This letter begins. Dear Norman and Edward, we'd like to wish a happy birthday to our son, who turned 1 this month and has been listening to your show with us. Little Ricky was born on October 22nd, 1979. He was 22 and a half inches long, the height of 2 Canadian footballs. We've noticed that when the Argonauts have the ball, his behavior changes and he becomes calm, cool, collected, almost serene. It's not every day you'd call an infant poised, but that's our Ricky. Call us crazy, but we think he's trying to picture the defense. we'll see where this goes. Signed, John and Jane Ray from Happy Camp, California. Wow! Well, happy birthday, Ricky. Thanks so much for listening. Happy Camp, Norman. That's in Northern California near the border with Oregon. Fun fact, Happy Camp is known as the gateway to the Marbles because of its proximity to the Marble Mountains. If you have something to say with the show, send it to thirdandroll, all one word, at gmail.com. That's a weird mailing address. There's no postal code, Norman.
Wow, Alex, so that was an exciting first quarter of the game. Not any scoring there, but one turnover apiece, and the Argos are going to be well positioned going into the second quarter, taking over at the Hamilton 31-yard line.
You know, I like those games sometimes when there isn't a lot of scoring, but it keeps going back and forth around the middle of the field. Makes me think it's like one of those, like the old Mayan kick game, the old Mayan ball game where, you score once and then you win. You like that kind of feeling to it where you're just like desperately trying to get even any point. But although there hasn't been any score on the board, everything has been Argos, Argos, Argos. Hamilton has had 4 plays and a fumble. Wow. Welcome to Toronto, Tiger Cats. And now when we come back from the quarter break, Toronto will be in prime position to pick off where they left off on their last drive.
Next time on Third and Roll.
And the attention span of football fans is generally pretty short.
And Bruce Clark is there to say, hello, Marler, stop talking about things that happened in Montreal discotheques.
Crunching of bones and giant 1980s style shoulder pads.
Third and Roll is an independent Canadian football board game podcast recorded in Toronto, Ontario in 2019. Today's episode features the voices of Spencer, Alex, and Subi.
This works for me.
Thanks, Subi. Our cover art was illustrated by Bryce Hall. This episode was edited by
Spencer Adams from Toronto.
Our theme music is Magic Mountain by Jazzar. Brett Brannigan's theme is The Spellbreaker by Tritachyon. Both songs used through a Creative Commons Attribution License and freemusicarchive.org. Ron Booman's theme is Vox Mach Fiodak, performed by United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. The Pedant's theme is Vox Variato in a Sank Clave, performed by Kimiko Ishizaka. Todd Gray's interview music is Vox Aria Variata, variation number 3, performed by Brendan Kinsella. That's a lot of Bach. All Bach pieces used are in the public domain. If you'd like to help support the show, you can tell a friend or leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher you use. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/thirdandroll and become a patron to get exclusive early access to new game episodes and to become a recurring character on the show. If you want to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter @thirdandroll or send an email to thirdandroll@gmail.com. New episodes every Wednesday. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Third and Roll.
I'm not an afterthought, Spencer, but I'll move on.